hello, we are here. My name is King Navassa. This is Cayman Connection. We are doing the special edition of Passin Tru. In fact, it's the first edition of Passin Tru with none other than Mr. Notch, born and bred West Bay, currently in Glasgow, did you say?
Glasgow, Scotland, yeah. Absolutely, just passing through.
Just passing through. So what we mean by just passing through is you live in Cayman, that's where your roots still are.
I still do.
Yeah, so you reach up this side now, you're not living here per se, but you're working, you're doing some work here.
I am. Because of COVID, I was made redundant. Many Caymanians may know I started the Cayman Craft Market 20 years ago, which became one of our key tourism attractions.
Mm-hmm.
But during the COVID, it was closed down by the government of the day because of, anyway, the long story short, as we say, I was made redundant. So I'm just here trying to
keep hustling.
I'm just connecting the dots and making ends meet.
There we go. And you said you started with the craft market, but also you had a big footprint in music. So is that your focus now?
Yeah, well, definitely. You know that I'm not preoccupied with managing the market at the moment. It's time to really invest some more time and effort and finance, which is not as much these days, into my career, my music career, which started a long time ago.
How far back?
As a lead singer of the Juveniles, I go back as far as the Galleon Beach Hotel, man.
I know you were gonna say Galleon Beach. That's now Weston, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I was there the days of Papi Connolly's and, well, in their heyday, MOJ's heyday. Memory
of Justice.
Absolutely. Performing with Cayman was a different music scene, then the place was vibrant, You had loads of live bands and it was just, it was amazing.
You think we'll get back to that point?
Hopefully. We have some young musical talent now that's coming up, and I'm hoping to see some more unity among the musicians so they can, absolutely.
So last year you were in the UK with us, and you graced us actually as a performer at our very first Cayman Day, and that was sponsored by the Cayman Islands London office in the UK. And it was our inaugural Cayman Day, and it surprised me when they said, "Oh yeah, Mr. Notch is up here," because again, I'm familiar with you, but in the islands. So when we're up here in London, pretending to be in Cayman, pop up. I'm like, oh, this make it feel a little more real now, for real.
Good to see you last year, man. Hopefully, this year we'll get a chance to possibly even do a song together this year.
Let's make it happen, because I tell you what,
that's what I'm talking about.
You're on the list, so this is my
YOLO.
We are doing Cayman Day 2022, September 17th. They'll correct me if I got the date wrong, September 17th. And of course, again, we would love to have you again. When you started dropping the reggae classics and when you said, was it My Caymanian Girl?
What's interesting,
everybody turned around like, tune. I was like, not to this element, it was good.
Yeah, it was a bittersweet moment. We just lost Papi Connolly in Cayman, the actual local singer who recorded that song with the Tornadoes. And it's his life's work. He's known for that song, and ironically, it's one of the only Caymanian recordings that everybody knows. And I think that's because of how it was associated with the Miss Cayman pageant.
It's true. All right.
Yeah, because it's like it was a key song for that every year, And
it was always on the radio as well. So that's where I was introduced.
Really pop with Cayman, so. Yeah.
Amazing. So, and when you were singing it, as I said, your voice fitted perfectly. Everybody turned like, what? All right, join in on the chorus. My Caymanian girl.
You know the tune, boy.
Yes. But speaking of tunes, you're here on tour. You're doing a musical tour in the UK. That's. Oh wait, tell us a bit about that.
That is the second year. I am featured on the best hits album of the reggae band Big Mountain, who are most famous for the song "Ooh Baby I Love Your Way."
Ooh, that's their most famous one.
That's
Ooh,
their.
Baby I love. I think that's them.
Yeah, which is actually, "Ooh Baby I Love Your Way" is actually one of the most popular reggae recordings of all time. It still plays, well, thanks to elevator music and background music and soft radio and all this stuff, it still receives like major rotation.
It's one of the songs you hear. It's one of the songs you hear when you go off on a resort in anywhere tropical.
It's just internationally known, Yeah. And I happen to have a song on their greatest hits album called "Girl I've Got a Date." I don't know if you've ever heard that.
I think you performed that one last year too.
Absolutely, it's a Caribbean classic. Sean Paul had his song from Alton Ellis, and this song was originally done by Alton Ellis as well.
Alton Ellis, that's the producer.
No, he's a singer, a Caribbean reggae singer. He was legendary and before his time too, But this song it's a great song, and it received some success in Japan, it seems, which is the reason why Big Mountain put it on their greatest hits album. They're 20 years in, 22 now because it's 2022, but they're 20 years into their music career, and they still tour internationally to Orient and Asia and different places. So they're trying to break back into the UK market.
I don't think that's any issue, which is why you're touring. Exactly. You want to briefly tell us where you're touring around the country?
We will be in Wales on the 22nd of July. And then there's some more dates at the end of July. The Milton Keynes concert. They'll be here in Glasgow with me on the 29th of July, and then the 31st, it looks like it'll be in Manchester.
That's my city.
That's I hear it's a really nice city, man. I haven't been yet, but I'm looking to check it out. Where all the movie stars are, and that's where all the reality TV. I heard there's a lot of positive buzz about it, man.
Fair enough. Right. So we told you could come back for Cayman Day, but there's also a few songs of yours that I want us to touch on. One of them, you so graciously said we could possibly use in promos and such. Your song Reggae Man.
Reggae Man is actually a Cayman classic as well. Like there's a story behind that. The Juveniles recorded Reggae Man for that would be our sophomore album that was never released. We had a debut album, and then we recorded our sophomore album, and the band, we just grew out of our boyishness, I guess, and the band kind of split, and then we became UBU and moved on to be Tabia and different stuff in Cayman. But the song was never released, and Tabia recorded it. And it's on Tabia's album, but it's recorded in a completely different way than the song was actually composed and written. Yeah, it was written in a different flavor. I actually fell in love from when I was a child with the original format of the song, but kind of revamped it a bit with Paul Castick, who's a producer of mine that plays with Maxi Priest. He's actually headed to Cayman for the Capella Festival on the 16th.
I heard that.
And Paul also is the drummer for Big Mountain.
Oh, from Maxi Priest's band.
Right.
Okay.
He's in demand. Yeah. He's demand on demand. But yeah. So what happened with that song is when I got the opportunity to produce something that really was sentimental to me. It's a song I wanted to record because it tells a story about Caribbean people who leave the Caribbean in search of a better life overseas, which, as we know, is the reason why a lot of Cayman people, our own people, have left Cayman to come and set up shop in the UK or tried to set up shop in the UK. And other Caribbean countries do the same. Maybe it's not, maybe the UK is not the destination, but it's America, Canada, wherever it is, you know? Because as Caribbean people, we're always looking for a better life, you know? So it's so important. I mean, it's so important that our own governments at home kind of, you get the message and realize that they have a responsibility to our people to actually try to provide that better quality of life at home, so our people don't have to leave and venture out to go and find it, especially with the world how it is now. I mean, we're on the internet, you're in Manchester, I'm in Glasgow, I could be in West Bay sitting in my yard and talking to you like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, technology boy.
Absolutely, man. But yeah, Reggae Man is a song that I'd love to see people embrace, just the same way that we embrace My Caymanian Girl as a Cayman recording. That's one of the things that I'd like to see happen in my lifetime, is where people start to recognize songs that have actually been the soundtrack of our lives, and we don't even realize it, you know? And it's important to recognize those things and say to what they are. Jamaica has them. There's tons of Jamaican recordings that you hear it and you go, I know that's Kingston, that's Montego Bay, that's St. Anne's or whatever, you know? And yeah, so my latest release is a song called Got to Have Love. And that was originally written by someone who people in Cayman know as Jamich, Michelle Olsen. He bangs from West Bay, who is a musical icon in his own, and he's my guitarist and my co-songwriter and everything else. And I just felt it was a song that I wanted to share with the world the way that I express it.
What's the name of the song again?
Got to Have Love.
Got to Have Love by Mr. Notch. Is that how we can
Absolutely.
find it?
Got to Have Love by Mr. Notch. You can find it. So that's my latest release, and it's just something that I think the world needs now, you know, with rumors of war and actual war going on right on our doorsteps, and all the confusion with, you know, the United Nations and the disparity in wealth and everything else. It's like, we need to just get back to the basics, and that basic is love, to appreciate each other as we are, regardless of our race, color, or creed, or differences, but find what's similar about ourselves and try to embrace those things, you know? So hopefully the message resonates with the new generation of Caymanians who understand that we are Caymanian. That's what we have in common. And we need to make sure that that counts for something, you know?
Tell us how we can reach you online, or...
Yeah, you know, I'm a private person. I try to not dwell too much into public personality. Yeah, it's Mr. Notch. That's the handle on Facebook and on Instagram. I'd love for more local people to check it out, you know, see what's going on and follow it. And if you're in the UK, man, or if you're up in Glasgow, come up and join the concert, man. This is where it's at. Or if you're in Wales, come down on the 22nd to, it'll be in Cardiff. I can't remember the name of the arena. Oh, it's the Vale Auditorium. Vale Auditorium, it's called. I remember that. And in Glasgow, it's at the SWG3. Milton Keynes is just their big music festival. I think that's like 15,000 people who are there. It's always sold out. They have a big reggae festival there. And in Manchester, it's going to be the same. A big reggae festival, but I don't know the venue.
We need you out there representing. Go with small.
3, 4, 5, the full dozen.
Wait, how you said that one go?
I said 3, 4, 5, the full dozen.
The full dozen. That way, I had to do my math. I like that.
3, 4, 5 is a full dozen. You know that, right?
I didn't
That's
just.
what Cayman is. It's the full dozen. It's everything.
The full dozen. Everything. Beautiful.
You get it?
Everything as in a seasoning pot with a little bit of this and that. That what you mean?
Absolutely, man. I mean, you know, it's interesting because a lot of people are so focused on what happens in the rest of the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
And I think because we have kind of hidden ourselves away with the secrecy laws of, with the banking secrecy laws and all that, our culture is not, our contribution to Caribbean culture has not been given the opportunity to shine.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were to really look at what we have contributed for the size of Cayman, you'd realize that it's as impactful as any of those other bigger Caribbean nations that have millions of people.
Mm-hmm. I mean, to say that they're just louder. They're just louder, but we gonna start making noise. We make it nice now. We try and get up. We try and catch up. We gonna make nice too.
Let's make our nice.
That's right. Thank you, Mr. Notch. And we'll see you at Cayman Day 2022.
I'll be there, bro, for sure.
Survival is the order of the day. You got to do what you got to do. Oh yeah, just passing through. Oh my, 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 my. My, 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 my. Oh yeah. You heard them talking, but they never told the truth. Their mouth full of rumors, twisted, some misconstrued.